There we go. Crispy lettuce restreaming. Waiting for crisp lettuce. 24th of July, 1938. And it's going live. 1938. There we go. We did it. God damn, my eyes look so bugged out and wild whenever I stream. No wonder everyone thinks I'm a fucking schizo. Let's see if that works. It does work. Alright. Crispy is back. I'm back, baby. Time to conduct some movies. Illegally. I got a 2005 Ryan Gosling that I want to watch. Actually. Should be good. Dr. K. Accelerati. Wow, Crisp Lettuce isn't banned. That's right, buddy. I'll always be here. Crisp Lettuce, are you still here? Okay, you're obviously not interested in facing me on the intellectual battlefield. I'll fix her and be there. Name a channel in DGG server. Do I really want to go to the DGG server? I mean, I could get a lot of retards actually that, trickle in. The thoroughfare could be nice. What's wrong, bitch boy? Cat got your tongue. Whip that dick out again. Show me what you got. Not in a gay way. I did. Obviously with you, Hijack, I would assume it was in a gay way. Hurry up! I'll debate you. Program. I'll lick yours. What did he mean by this? I said someone debate me on this until you cry, until I make you cry, because I condensed my replies on this thread to say I'm grouping up all my replies because of all the bullshit. 590 comments on this thread, and the downvotes are rampant. Here's some lore. Dr. K was literally like, sorry, this is a first draft, so bear with me. I've deduced that your biggest weakness is that you is that you have friends who don't stick with you, and to help you heal from that, I'm going to be your friend who will always be here for you for 2 years. That actual quote in the report was, I'm going to love you for 2 years. Then a week later, the two of them come back on stream, and Dr. K makes Reckful explain to the audience that they're totally going back on the promise that Reckful received from Dr. K. The real kicker is that it's not Dr. K who explains that they're backing out on this promise. I shouldn't even say that they are backing out on this promise. It just looks like they are backing out because Reckful's the one who explains it. I think I talked to Dung Devil about this a while back, so it's probably how I managed to compile like what happened, because it just really looks like a humiliation ritual in which Reckful is like too ashamed of his own weakness. He's really looking up to someone who he's like started to idolize in Dr. K, and then at the bidding of his idol, he goes ahead and is just like, oh yeah, like it's not his fault, guys. It's not his fault that he like identified my greatest weakness, promised it to me, raised my hopes up, and then dashed them down in the worst way possible. It's almost like Dr. K wanted to cover his ass and avoid culpability. TLDR. Dr. K identified Reckful's greatest insecurity, promised to give him the security and experience to get over it, resulting in tears of like joy and happiness. And then he backpedaled over the next few days while guilt tripping the suicidal man in a play to maintain face. Speaking of consent, Reckful repeatedly called Dr. K his therapist, and eventually, after Dr. K corrected him, like over and over and over, but not always correcting him, sometimes he would just like grimace and let it slide. Reckful just started calling Dr. K his not therapist, and they were having not therapy sessions. At this point, you gotta wonder, like, where is the consent here? Bonus meme. Dr. K engaged in conversations leading to Reckful embracing spiritual Hindu and Buddhism reincarnation. Reckful started to think that life might just be a test, that this was a hurdle that he was not meant to get over in this life, never would, and the best way to fix it was to jump out of his 80-story window. Some of the comments in here have like 300 downvotes, and it's of people just saying like the most easy takes. Did my fucking stream just die again? Oh, my Twitch died, which means my chatbot is not working. Because everything gets fed back to Twitch, which then gets fed into my chatbot. Oh, but I am. Oh, fuck it. I need to not look at Twitch. It's actually fucking with my whole overlay. I guess my brain is like hardwired to like look at Twitch every time. Bom, 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 bom. Did Hojack leave? He did. Pepe hands. Did Hojack leave? Oh well. Let's take a moment to look over this bullshit. Pepe hands. Did Hojack leave? Oh well. Let's take a moment to look over this bullshit. Pepe hands. This one got 2,000 upvotes, if I remember correctly. As far as I know, Dr. K essentially identified that Reckful needed a guy, and their first talk promised to be that guy because he got carried away, possibly because he was an old fan, realised he'd promised way too fucking much, and had to walk it back during their next talk. He didn't walk it back, he made Reckful walk it back. During said talk, you can see Reckful realise in real time that he's been abandoned. This is also bullshit. 2,000 upvotes, and like, this is just wrong. You can't see Reckful realise he's been abandoned. You see Reckful after days of realising he's been abandoned. After days of fucking Reckful feeling like he has to accept the abandonment and to allow some dude that he's been idolising to abandon him. It is a mind fuck. Promise to be that guy. Let's find something that has a bunch of downvotes. People going on that Rickful had bipolar. Yeah, it could have been that. There were things that Rickful was saying to Dr. K, like, oh, like, you're so much better than my previous therapists. I've been trying to go to therapy, but they all sucked and blah, 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 blah. Apparently, this is a pretty reoccurring pattern with these people who have been abandoned and have these abandonment issues, is that they'll go to a therapist for a little bit, they will like love up their therapist, and then their therapist will graduate because it'll be like a student therapist, and have to be like, okay, I hand off all my patients that I've been learning from, or that I've been using to learn the practice. And then these people, these bipolar people who have abandonment, especially the smart ones, rationalize as a defense, like, oh no, they were just a shit therapist. And then they end up with this like long line of shitty therapists, but really it's just ex-therapists that these people can't handle, that they opened up to and then left. It's like, oh, they were obviously terrible. I don't really know how these BPD people are meant to like realize and grow from these situations, but you can like see this in Rickful, and Dr. K, being a trained therapist, probably could have identified like, oh, this guy's had serious problems. One of the attacks on Rickful is that he like needed to be in long-term mental health care. And as true as that is, I think he probably had tried to get like quite a lot, and the willpower to go up and down on that journey is kind of rough. I'm not going to say Dr. K had like an easy job or that he's like a massive piece of shit for failing, but yeah, Rickful kind of seems like an unbearable cunt. Which is the funny thing that people like aren't going to want to hear. People who want to defend Dr. K often like loved Rickful, and they were like, he was like getting all this good stuff from Dr. K. It's not Dr. K's fault. It's true. It's true. Like all of it's kind of true. Except Dr. K isn't like a good guy. Rickful wasn't like a good guy either. If he was a good guy, he probably wouldn't be mentally unwell, right? I think some of the baseline like problems with being mentally unwell is that it makes you into like a fucked up bad person. If being mentally unwell just made you like a better person, I don't think we'd call it an illness. I think we'd just call it like a hard buff. Here's one with negative 40 upvotes, 40 downvotes, which I previously upvoted. Doing therapy on stream can be incredibly immoral. As someone that is in the mental health system for over 20 years, and I watched Rickful since before Twitch, zero doubt Dr. K did all this for clout and never did care of the real life consequences of his actions. Yeah. You could say on some level he cared, right? He just didn't care enough to like do the right thing by Rickful, or to really think that this would like lead to enough personal harm on Dr. K that it would be worth avoiding, and it wasn't. And I don't think Dr. K is like an idiot enough to just somehow like stumble into this. This guy said, I also watched many of the early Healthy Gamer streams live and always found them incredibly immoral. Saying this just got me banned. A therapist is not responsible if a patient commits suicide. This isn't always true. A therapist doing their job would never be responsible. Dr. K was intentionally avoiding being a therapist and avoiding doing his job, avoiding culpability while feeding Rick Fool's. It doesn't like maybe he wasn't trying to feed into Rick Fool's like greatest insecurities, but he definitely did. Dude, where are my DGGs? Because, like, do I really have to go read that shit? Anyway, where's the comment that has 300 downvotes? Do I really have to go read the trial to make content? Being a small streamer is fucking brutal, dude. No one gives a fuck. I'm just here talking to myself. That'll do what Queeman did for 3 months. At least Queeman's like really good at yapping now, and he has people to yap to. But I guess he was good at it earlier. But that dude just yapped into the void, and Chud would be like, "Oh, go follow Queeman, guys," and I'd go look, and Queeman would be just there talking to no one, and then I would talk to him. And he forgot that shit real fast. But I mean, I guess he was streaming every night for hours. It's not like I was there hanging out by myself every night for hours, so I'm probably pretty forgettable. Yeah, this might all be tied back to Mr. Girl complaining about Dr. K. The complaint wasn't filed in 2022. That's when they started looking into it. Who filed it was an awful person by the name of Mr. Girl, according to user Hey Hey Dance. I don't know if we should really believe that. What a misleading headline. What part of the headline is misleading? You can read the official document linked in the tweet to confirm for yourself that there's now a reprimand on his license. The actual contents of the tweet may be misleading, but the linked document is not really, nor the headline really. Oh no, please don't show a whole bunch of porn. This was a funny ass thread. Can you explain what is incredibly immoral about live streaming therapy if both parties don't consent to it? It just seems like you've got some vendetta against this really wonderful, nice man. Did you not know that Dr. K is like a Buddhist monk? He's a great, great guy. He believes in karma and shit. It's a clear conflict of interest. He makes more money if he gets people to cry on stream or have any extreme reactions, whether or not he acts on it. He's created an unnecessarily perverse incentive for a therapy session. Doctors have stricter guidelines than consent, which includes ethical guidelines that can include avoiding conflicts of interest and no harm principles. Consent is a low bar by many professionals interacting with other non professionals, not doctors trying to get their licenses who can be held to a high standard. It's also unethical because one party is not in the right state of mind to consent. Oh, this guy actually got some upvotes. Holy. Not downvoted into oblivion. He's a fully grown adult that's not under the influence of anything. I don't think being depressed removes your ability to consent to something. What a brain dead fucking response. What kind of retard just like gets on here and it's like, I've got something to say about that. Like, everyone can consent to everything, actually. fully grown adults in serious mental episodes, bipolar for example, are fully ready to consent. Not even talking about psychosis. Oh, fully grown adults can't get that, huh? Yeah. And this guy downvoted. It's literally impossible to definitively determine if someone is currently in an episode or not. Is it? Is it really? Like, if you're like sitting in a classroom and you're with all the other 14-year-old kids, right? And your math teacher is just like some big fat lady and she just up the front of the class screaming, and you look over at the other kid and you're like, and they're like, ooh. What do you think those kids are thinking? You think they are like not like identifying, like, oh, the teacher's having another mental breakdown again. Our crazy math teacher, Mrs. Vagina, is flipping out about her stupid fucking name that we bully her about every day. Oh no, Mr. Conehead Quentin just got a divorce and now he's like lashing out at the kids again. Dude, from a young age, you can like pick up on that shit. It is like basic human nature to look at the people around you and just like throw them an expression like, hey, what you're doing is kind of like breaking down, or you are like going outside of normal structural bounds. And anyone with like a healthy, full on mindset just like reads those facial experiences, reacts. Everyone, you know, coerces in a good way. Now you take that, that inbuilt human instinct, and then you realize that we have like a profession dedicated around figuring out when people are like going through these things. And this is psychology, and it's treated widely with therapy. And some people are really talented at like figuring that out. And those people either become psychologists or con men. Dr. K is one of those people, right? Who is especially gifted at picking out vulnerable, mentally unwell, broken down people. And these are exactly the kinds of people who are super easy to take advantage of, are not thinking clearly, are heavily incentivized by like their hopeless fucking desperation that every single day of their life is like totally fucked to try to get help. Fucking chatters. This guy at negative 15 by people who think that manipulation never happens. Like, hello? This was a nice downvote. Dr. K makes more money if he can successfully help someone. Can you name a TV therapist that makes their money because of the people they help more so than because of the entertainment value of their content? Is that your opinion of Dr. Phil? Or are you just saying that because you want to believe the incentives are the ones that make the most money? The right incentives. And this is exactly the problem, is that people look at Dr. K and they're like, oh, he's such a great guy. I just wanted Reckford to get help. Reckford was trying so hard to get help, and Dr. K was trying so hard to help him. Dr. K is heavily motivated to make money off these people. Dr. K has only given me helpful information, and I've given him no money. uh, Actually, you know what, guys? I'm taking on a new therapy. It's called sex therapy. It cures all of your drug problems. You don't even have to stop doing your drugs. You just do all your drugs. Come over to my house. We'll fuck. It'll heal you of your addiction. You can still do the drugs. In fact, I'll do them with you, so we're on the same level. I'll do your drugs, obviously, and I'll transfer those energies out of you with my Reiki prowess, with my skillful, vigorous penis. I'll bring you back to life, dude. You just have to consent. Dan Saltman. He was right all along. Today, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts reprimanded Dr. Alokana Nojani, aka Dr. K, on Twitch's license for his past conduct regarding Healthy Gamer. Read the document here. I will, Dan. I fucking will. Might as well look at the tweets. Bunty approved. Thank you, Bunty King. I knew it was the real you. Dan is the healthiest of healthy gamers. I'm the strongest soldier. 13,000 hours of rust. Yeah. What do we got? 7 pages. So who sued who? The consent order. Dr. Ellock, the respondent, and the Board of Medicine, Registration to Medicine, agreed that the board may issue this consent order to resolve the above captioned adjudicatory proceeding. Parties further agree the consent order will be forced into effect on a final decision under some other statute or act or policy or whatever. The respondent admits to findings of fact specified below. Alright, it's the facts that both parties agreed on. Dr. K graduated from Tufts University School of Medicine. Is that a division of Harvard? Is that some sort of like prestigious, top of the line, world class university? Oh no, it's just some fucking third rate shithole that I've never heard of. Sorry, Dr. K. Turns out my entire perception of like who you are as a doctor was like completely undermined by you just lying to me. Blah 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 blah. He is a licensed practitioner of medicine. He's a board certified psychiatrist. He owns Healthy Gamer GG and his private practice, Dr. K Psychiatry. I'm not going to try to pronounce these words. The respondent was previously affiliated with McLean Hospital from July 2018 through October 2020 and Harvard Medical School from July 2018 to October 2021. Healthy Gamer GG is advertised as a mental health platform that provides content, coaching, and community resources to help young people take control of their mental health and their lives. The respondent further advertises that he brings the best evidence-based psychiatry commentary on alternative medicine in his own understanding of and experience as part of the internet generation to critique a unique approach to mental health. Honestly, I've never seen him play a game, so even that seems dubious. Alleged gamer, Dr. K. Blah blah blah. He's on Twitch. He gets paid to be on Twitch. He's got 621,000 subs. Jesus Christ. Is it? I mean, because a Twitch sub is like a monetized sub, right? Surely not. Surely he's not raking in like 2 or 3 million a month. The respondent introduced himself to the Healthy Gamer GG community as a Harvard trained psychiatrist, trained at both Massachusetts General Hospital and McLean Hospital. The respondent often wears a Harvard Medical School, MGH, and McLean Hospital emblazoned zip-up sweatshirt during his videos on Healthy Gamer. Now, it's interesting that they included that in there. According to Ask Me Anything ethical opinion, or AMA ethical opinion. Physicians who participate in the media can offer effective and accessible medical perspectives, leading to a healthier and better informed society. However, ethical challenges present themselves when the world of medicine, journalism, and entertainment intersect. In the context of the media marketplace, understanding the role as a physician being distinct from a journalist, commentator, or media personality is imperative. Physicians involved in media environment should be aware of their ethical obligations to patients, the public, and medical professionals. And the medical profession. Sorry, that's actually the big one right there, right? They're like, you have brought disgrace to the medical profession. You have reduced public faith in the medical profession. That was what he's eventually found guilty on. And their conduct can affect their medical colleagues, other healthcare professionals, as well as institutions in which they are affiliated. They should also recognise that members of the audience might not understand the unidirectional nature of the relationship and might think themselves as patients. Physicians should always remember that they are physicians first and foremost. They must uphold the values, norms, and integrities of the medical profession. Encourage audience members to seek out qualified physicians to address the unique questions and concerns they have about their respective care when providing general medical advice. Be aware of how their medical training, qualifications, experience, and advice are being used by media forums and how this information is being communicated to the viewing public. Dr. K, the guy who just bans any criticism. Nice. Fully disclose any conflicts of interest and avoid situations that may lead to potential conflicts. The respondent conducts interview-style videos with various individuals, often gamers who also live stream. These interviews are live streamed on Twitch TV. The Healthy Gamer GG YouTube channel's interview playlist contains approximately 148 videos originally streamed on Twitch.tv. On December 4th, 2019, the respondent connected with acclaimed streamer Rickful and interviewed him for approximately 2 hours on Twitch TV. They agreed that during this video, the respondent and Rickful engaged in a conversation about depression, bipolar, suicide, and psilocybin. The respondent, Dr. K, acknowledged that his colleagues worried that he could be sued if someone on his stream committed suicide. Dr. K offered Rickful to reach out to him if he had thoughts of killing himself. On or about December 18th, Dr. K and Rickful connected for a second live stream interview that lasted approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes. During this video, Dr. K and Rickful engaged in a conversation about Rickful's history with therapy. Dr. K suggested that he and Rickful meet every week for 4 to 8 weeks to address his loneliness. On or about January 11th, 2020, Dr. K and Rickful connected for a third live stream interview that lasted over 2 hours. During this video, Dr. K and Rickful engaged in a conversation about depression, Rickful's brother's suicide, and psychedelics. On or about January 23rd, 2020, the respondent, Dr. K, and Rickful connected for a fourth live stream interview that lasted approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes. During this video, the respondent and Rickful engaged in a conversation about borderline personality disorder. The respondent stated that he would try to love Rickful for 2 years. January 29th, 2020, the respondent and Rickful connected for a fifth live stream interview that lasted approximately 1 hour and 50 minutes. During this interview, the respondent and Rickful engaged in a conversation addressing the discussion from January 23rd, 2020. The respondent, Dr. K, and Rickful discussed the bounds of their relationship and whether Dr. K was Rickful's therapist or friend. Dr. K acknowledged that his very bold claim about loving Rickful for 2 years was irresponsible. Later in this video, Rickful told Dr. K that he remained conflicted about the status and definition of their friendship. February 12th, 2020, Dr. K and Rickful connected for the sixth and final live stream. This interview that lasted approximately 40 minutes. During the video, Rickful mentioned that he and Dr. K would continue their conversations offline, off stream. June 30th, what is this? A few months later, Rickful's friends engaged Dr. K to discuss Rickful's declining mental health. During his conversation with Rickful and his friends, so the friends reached out to Dr. K to be like, yo, Rickful's health is declining. Something's going on. Something's happened with Rickful that we think you need to know. Kind of implies Dr. K is involved, right? During his conversation with Rickful, or maybe they need to know something. Maybe they need to be like, hey, what's been going on with you and Rickful? During his conversation with Rickful and his friends, Dr. K followed standard referral guidelines, including referrals for outpatient care, higher levels or care, and guidance around the use of emergency services. July 2nd, what's that, like 2 days later, Rickful died by suicide. Conclusion: the respondent has engaged in conduct that undermines the public confidence in the integrity of the medical profession. Statutes or acts referenced. The Dr. K's license is hereby reprimanded. This, which, so people said a reprimand is like a suspension, or suspension also seems like they just took it away from him, right? But I guess apparently this is like a temporary removal. Apparently he's, gonna be a top psychologist again soon, which is kind of fucked. I don't know if I agree with this. I want his punishment to be like just and severe. I guess he did like change up his whole channel and shit, but I just don't know if I care. I guess you can't just like, it's like cancel culture. Like, should we like take everything away from this man? Probably not, I guess. Can't just like do that to people, but I just want like accountability. Respondents counsel, the respondent agrees that the approval of the consent order is left to the discretion of the board. And then there's just stuff about how he has to follow this conclusion. Some pretty sad, pretty wild stuff. It's pretty crazy how many people still to this day say that they miss Rickful. And other people still try to grift up his name. I knew Byron. Byron was my friend. Oh, I mean, that catnip girl. Well, actually, my boyfriend worked with him. So, did you know him or did you not? Disgusting. Wait, actually, let's have another look at Dan's tweet. Where am I right now? Massachusetts W. God, I love Dan so much, it's unreal. Dear Dan, I promise to love you for the next 2 years. I'll be like, sorry. This was a totally irresponsible tweet. Don't give yourself over it. Oh well, I've got 0 chatters. I've probably got 0 people adding me in DGG. In fact, some guy just called me a leech. It's true. It's true. One of the things I learned very quickly is that there is no chance at being a streamer. Just like by streaming, you got a leech. And I'm poor, you know. You know the effort that it takes to come on here and show your face and build up the confidence to believe that you've got words that people might listen to. I mean, not that much for some people. Honestly, a lot of people just say the dumbest shit and they're pretty sure that they'll get 100,000 views. Nice. We can't look at the woman too much, boys. If you love them, you got to admit that it would be bad for them to be with you. Compared to content creators like Tim Pool, I'm basically Supreme Court Justice. Yeah. True. Well, Pepe Hands, I was really hoping to like vent to some people, but I think doing the stream in itself, you know, just sort of helped me like vent a lot of my Dr. K rage, which was good, you know, because reading that Reddit post and just seeing all of the dumb shit coming back up was pretty Pepe Hands. Alright, it's time to chill out and be quiet now.
I think this will do.